Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing today, guys? It is Tuesday, it is talk show time. Why is that not working again? Of course, because poop. That's why. There we go. Much better. Why did that not work though, is what I'm curious of. Probably because we are in the wrong thing. Yes, we are. Wow. We good. Oh well. Much better. Alrighty. But welcome everybody. How is everyone doing today? Blue, Savage, welcome. How are you guys? Hope that you guys are having a good day today. It's talk show time. Time to relax, hang out, have a beer or two or whatever. That is completely and totally legal. Talk video games, catch up on the news of the video game industry, and see what all is going on. So without further ado, I don't know about you guys, but unfortunately I forgot my tinfoil hat, because something tells me we may need it. And if we don't, we can always just point and laugh and make fun of some of the stupid things that are going on in the video game industry. That, or just have a collective sigh of relief, or whatever. It's all fun and games.
Hello, Fendo.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I think I was just talking about my ass for some reason.
Okay.
I try to just like whenever I say stuff that I know is like weird or like gross, I just go, just keep talking, just keep talking, just keep talking until it basically just all smooths right out.
Interesting.
Okay, did have a joke there? Thank you, appreciate it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, how's your Tuesday?
Not bad. Things are changing up at work as far as what projects I'm working on, so things are definitely going bizarre, I will say that.
Okay.
So
Is it slowing down a little bit because of that transition period?
not really slowing down, more or less shifting from, hey, working on 2 projects over there to working on 1 from over there and 1 from over there, and then in like 2 weeks or something dropping the project over there and going back to 2 projects over there. So it's interesting.
I was just saying that we have some good, some funny, and a little bit ugly stories this week, so that's gonna be kind of fun. At least we get to bounce around as opposed to just the,
True.
boring shit.
True.
Um, I would like to start with just something silly that I just want to get over with. You
Okay.
cool with that?
Sure.
All right.
So a silly start is a great start.
Yeah, that's what I think too. So, um, VGA, Video Game Awards, you know those, right?
Yep.
The guy who makes them, Jeff Knightley, he also does another project during the summer called the Summer Game Fest. And last year, his fucking I'm gonna blame it on marketing because this is fucking ridiculous. It was a month long. It was the entirety of a month, and they just spread shit out so fucking thin. So there was no like, okay, on like days when it was like any big fest, right? Sunday's usually the big announcement days, right? Like it's like a block of like an hour or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was just like sporadic throughout a month. So I'm assuming some marketing knob was like, well, what if we have an entire month and then we just kind of randomly put shit in there? That way people have to keep coming back to the streams over and over again. Yeah, that didn't fucking happen. Like all it did was like piss off journalists and get very little coverage. So, mercifully, this year it is only from June 9th until June 12th. It is officially announced. So next month, about halfway through, the Summer Game Fest is going to happen. And again, thankfully, whoever that marketing person was, hopefully got waterboarded. Jeff Knightley said, all of the major announcements are going to happen on Sunday, the 12th. So it's in one nice, convenient little package.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, fortunately, the 9th through 12th of June, that is a Thursday through Sunday. So
Yes.
nice long weekend there.
Yeah.
Hopefully hear a lot of good things. Because unfortunately we've heard a lot of bad things as far as video game news of recent, it seems.
Yeah, I saw just recently that that new Starfield game, the new Bethesda
Mm-hmm.
RPG, it's like on
Yep.
the moon, 2023.
Yep.
I also saw that we were supposed to get some news about shit. What the hell was that? Oh, Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remedy was like, yeah, nope, we're not doing that either. So
Yep.
don't expect announcements for those. Well, maybe Starfield will get something more than a fucking pre-rendered trailer that basically showed us fuck all.
I'm not
Um,
gonna hold my breath on that though.
I'm not either,
Yeah.
frankly, because it could just be another pre-rendered trailer for all we goddamn know.
True.
But that one was like a person. I don't even remember if it was a male or a female. It was a person on Mars in what you would think of as a traditional NASA rover, and like today's technology. It wasn't futuristic, you know what I'm saying? But that's legit all I remember. And a song that I was playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it, really, as far as I recall of it too. So.
Right. Which means that had to be a really great trailer for us
Oh.
to get that hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to go over that.
Okay.
And that also means for us here, for our show, cool. Tuesday we'll have a bunch of shit to talk about. Hopefully, that'll
Oh
be cool.
yeah.
You
Definitely.
know, that's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, especially considering how we won't have to sit there and like keep tuning in the same sources for a whole
Over.
freaking month and being like,
Right.
and they've got nothing.
Right.
Yay.
Right.
So.
I forgot to mention this earlier, and I'll mention it again when it gets closer. But I'm going to be out of town from the 27th of June until the 8th of July.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just as a pre heads up.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. Uh, that'd be about two. That'd be 2 Tuesdays in there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yep. Yep. So that's unfortunate, but whatever. It's not exactly like we're killing the ratings here on Twitch.
Yeah. Really.
Most people don't care about this show.
I hope they show some more Breath of the Wild 2 during that time.
Me too.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Would definitely
That
be
would
good.
be nice.
I want to say I heard something that also got delayed too. Nintendo's pushing that back even further.
Yeah,
as well.
I saw that too. That it's 2023 guaranteed.
Yeah. So it's like,
but hey, something more, because they showed us what 45-second trailer, and it was like still the same graphics. They showed us an upside down floating castle bunch of shit, and that was about it. It was like,
yeah,
okay, cool. I guess like,
yeah.
As long as it doesn't get to be like Last Guardian, where it's like they're announcing it over like 15 E3s. Like, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna hold on to my one like happy up thing just for later because we're gonna need it. So Final Fantasy 14. They've always had the developers and Square Enix and like that. They've always had kind of we won't ask you about mods and you won't tell us about mods kind of a stance.
Okay.
Which, for the most part, the community up until about a year ago has been fine, no problem, whatever.
Yep.
It's all cool. However, since a little over a year ago now, there's been massive influx of players coming from World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Which is not only inviting for people to play using mods, but for endgame rating, it is required. because there is no telegraphing of attacks going out.
Yeah.
It is just
Yeah.
boom, that move
Yeah.
hit. Where you were in the area and you didn't know about it? Tough fucking shit. Not our
Right.
problem. But Final Fantasy 14 attacks are always telegraphed.
Right. You can actually see them on the ground.
Right. There's like templates, and the way that they work is if it's a column, it'll show the outline of like the template of this is where it's going to hit, and there'll be a progression bar, effectively being the cast bar before it goes off. So it's like, okay, it's very easy to identify, oh, hey, I got to move, kind of a thing.
Right.
A lot of the high-end rating community that has come over from WoW has been getting caught streaming mods. And this past week, there was a crap, I forget the player's name, but he was streaming it, and then mid-fight of the latest raid, a GM pulled him into player jail. Yes, seriously, it is like they teleported him to jail and was like, there's no doors, there's no windows. I literally cannot get out of this jail. I am stuck here. The funny thing is, he even mentioned on stream, guys, I got teleported to jail. I probably shouldn't be streaming this.
Like, what was the mod though? Did he explain?
Effectively what it was is it would be classified as a UI mod, but what it's doing, I guess, was giving him more information as far as how the boss is attacking, like what patterns it's attacking, things like that, which
like ahead of time.
Yeah, which in World of Warcraft, that's perfectly fine.
Sure.
But in Final Fantasy 14, the devs are kind of like, that's frowned upon.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because they're giving you more information, right?
Right.
Like, that's the gig.
Yeah.
So you don't need that, like, pre-info.
Yep. So the player got banned, has a week-long suspension from Twitch as well for cheating in multiplayer game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
This seems to be happening more and more, unfortunately, due to the mass influx. For the most part, Square Enix has been like, hey, if you guys don't like advertise, in other words, if you're streaming and we can see you're using mods, we're gonna crack down on it.
Right.
But if you're either streaming and that's not being captured somehow, then okay. I mean, basically, if they can't identify you're using mods to make the game any easier for you,
sure,
they don't give a fuck, is what it sounds like.
Huh. That's a very, yeah, you're right. Like, it's a very military, don't ask, don't tell kind of policy.
Yeah.
Just really weird.
Honestly, I've never really seen the need in Final Fantasy 14 to use mods. Because
I mean, they certainly have a lot of tools for if you want a UI change.
Oh yeah,
like,
the UI is completely 100% customizable.
Right.
Which honestly, considering 2 or 3 weeks ago now, GDQ did a day-long marathon on a Saturday, highlighting games that went out of their way for accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because not every gamer is completely and totally capable.
Right.
So these are having accessibility to customize where you want everything exactly to make it easier without external mods for you to play a game is great.
Yeah. No,
but apparently these mods went just that extra little bit past that line, and Square Enix was that's not a good thing.
Well, I mean, like, again, I don't want to harp on it, but, like, seriously, do you really need that? No.
Yeah,
the game gives you the information. You don't need to know what the next attack pattern is going to be. Plus, then you could, okay, so I'm modding and I'm using that mod. I could also, say that to the group I'm running with.
Yep.
So only one person could ostensibly ruin the balance curve of the difficulty.
Right.
The
big difference though is in WoW, it was more, okay, the raid bosses have these effects go off at certain hit point values. And the rest of the time in between, it's just, okay, it's doing it random. One of random number of attacks. Like Final Fantasy 14, okay, it does this attack, then this attack, then this attack, then this attack.
What the hell would you even need that?
It follows a strict script.
Oh, pattern. But I guess if it wasn't the first time you saw it.
But even then, most of these guys are like, oh, hey, I've watched the YouTube tutorial on the video. Right. I'm going into the fight. Why are you using the mod then? Kind of a thing.
Right.
I mean, you've watched it. You know what you're expecting.
Right.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't like using mods. You're a vanilla guy, Savage. Yeah. For the most part, I'm kind of like that. There are some mods like randomizers I don't really consider mods because it's just shuffling up some values.
Data.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, yes, it's modified, but it's like, it's the same game. I'm just getting things slightly out of order.
I don't mind mods when they are randomizers. Hey, Savage. I don't mind mods when they're randomizers if you are specifically trying, like you've played this game 6 million fucking times.
Yeah.
And you're looking to just get some more. Thank you. You're just looking to get more out of it, like that's fine to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind mods that are just cosmetic. You know what I'm saying? Like Left 4 Dead has a shit ton of ones. They have one where it's the Kool-Aid Man is the tank. They have one where it's Randy the Macho Man Savage going, oh yeah, as he's like hitting shit at you. Like that's all cute and fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's not really. That's just for people who have already clearly beaten your game so many times, but they just want new content.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That to me is totally fine. Like whatever.
Oh yeah.
And even if it was a single player game, and you're one of those weirdos that like wanted to see, boobies on the models, fine, go for it. What do I care? It's not affecting anyone else. Like just enjoy your fucking shit.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
We all have our own things we're into.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
So speaking of kind of weird, this should be pretty quick. So this news got found via the job listing site at Funcom.
Okay.
There is a new stuff. Well, putting Gatling gun shoots nukes. Right, exactly. That'd be breaking balance. Like exactly. So job listing came up in Funcom for the property Dune. Which is cool because I like the Dune universe. My girlfriend has read literally like 22 of the 26 books, which is like insane to me.
Nice.
But yeah, she's really into Dune. Cool, good shit. So Dune is calling, this is a direct quote from the listing. Dune is calling and Funcom has answered. Now, a couple of years ago, Funcom got the Dune license, and just recently they put out that isometric turn-based, or not turn-based, real-time one. That's kind of like a city builder mixed with, like your normal RTS kind of thing.
Yep.
Which apparently is pretty goddamn good, which is cool. But anyways, so Funcom has answered, will you? Below, there is a broad description of what they're looking to make. And it says it's a multiplayer open world survival game set on Akaris. And it will be, quote, Funcom's most ambitious game yet. Now, as an ex-Funcom employee, it's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up. Because, whatever news, like I always grab EA news, for me, and I saw Funcom 1 and I was like, you used to work at Funcom, so this will be a fun little conversation. What do you got thoughts? It sounds like you got thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. Most ambitious game yet for them. Uh
I can recall a couple other that they said the same thing about.
yeah, yeah. Cue the awkward silence. Exactly, Savage.
Crickets.
Yeah. Um for this to be their most ambitious game yet, open world survival. Wow. I hate to say this, I kind of foresee a copy paste of Conan
Man,
Exiles.
I knew. Yeah, it's funny because that's where I went to.
Yeah, just
Um,
reskinned over to be Dune
Dune universe.
and Hmm.
It's a trap.
I
Sounds
think
like
that
bullshit. It's a trap. Yeah, exactly.
it does a little bit.
Yeah.
To be fair, open world survival, you've already got like ostensibly a template, right?
True.
From Conan.
True.
Um, you modify it 6,000 different ways. That could actually be a good thing for the game that it had like, because most of these open world survival games, and I wish Jake was here right now because I would love to talk to him about this because he loves those games so much. And I think they're boring and they're all pretty much the same. Hit tree with rock, wait until you take twig, make bullshit, like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, at least on this desert ass planet, that could be kind of interesting. Like the thirst mechanic would have to be interesting. You'd have to get one of those suits. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of cool. Um, there's a lot of wiggle room there, I guess, but it depends on how you do it. Because
Yep.
again, like Akaris is literally a whole desert planet. That's it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else to it. There's no other biomes. How the fuck are you gonna make that interesting?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know? Um, so maybe they're gonna lean more into the RPG side of it because like the things I don't like about like Ark Survival Evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there you go. There, that's right. He said Savage just said I like Ark and Conan. That's cool. Like more power to you. I just don't. The only like survival things I like was when they're a little bit more skewed, like Subnautica.
Yeah.
That's a single player. It has a beginning, middle, and end to a story.
Mm-hmm.
It has here's your objective: do this, and then this, and then this, and I get to go. Okay, cool. The only one that I even still remotely like that isn't that is Minecraft. But Minecraft keeps adding stuff that ostensibly is objectives. Get to the end. Get to the end town. Okay, now fight this boss. Okay, now you can make this.
Yep.
That to me gives me enough of a direction to go for.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really crazy to me to be like Dune. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you really nailed it on the head. One, Arrakis is desert.
Arrakis.
So you're gonna have like sand everywhere and rocky outcrops. Ooh, yay.
And
Cool.
Shai-Hulud, the big worms.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have to run around. Well, not run around. Run away from all these huge ass worms everywhere, which is just gonna be miserable. So
And maybe later on you could get to be like riding them, like like Paul does. That'd be kind of cool. Like, but I just like unless they introduce something, a system like politics, because that's really what it's really about is the politics
yeah,
between the emperor, like Paul's
Mhm.
family, and so I don't like that. Doesn't sound like an open world survival game to me. That leans way more RPG in my mind.
yeah, or
Like
or even
maybe
potentially sim.
right.
Mhm.
What could be cool is if you picked your house like right off
Yep.
the bat and you were trying to get things set up for your house. That could be kind of cool. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, be interesting.
um you should
Um,
definitely check out Dune. Super
yeah.
good.
The other thing I'm kind of curious of though is crap. Oh yeah. They also considered Conan Exiles massive
Right.
multiplayer. But
Right.
the thing with Conan Exiles, it's just like Minecraft. You can host your own server. So is it really massive multiplayer or is it just group multiplayer
Right.
kind of a thing? So I can see it 100% as a Civ style game. If they bring in
Fine.
politics to it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fine. Like I'd be completely cool with that. Like, if like, and that would give you very clear enemies, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm House Atreides, so I fuck the Harkins. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And anybody who came into that server who was a Harkin, fuck those guys. Like that could be interesting. That could be really interesting, in fact.
Yeah.
But man, and they would also have to have like their own like tech trees to go down so that it's different because then you want to play both sides. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Funcom is exactly the guys who like.
Yeah.
What?
Well, your point of
Yeah,
Funcom
like,
being the best ones to
do
pull this off.
to have this like fully realized. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because as far as like I'm concerned, they're kind of like a AA company that's always tried to make MMOs like they're a AAA company. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like almost every project is almost like too big in scope or too bland in design. Like one of those two things always kind of crop up.
Or half-assed.
Or half-assed, right? I didn't want to say that.
well, heck, I will because I worked on it.
Right.
Being that I worked on Age of Conan, the first 20 levels, which was all in one town,
One area, yeah.
It was completely and totally voiced over. Even just Joe Schmo shop NPC that you're pawning off crap to, voice acted. The entire rest of 60 plus levels, no voice acting at all. And it's like, wasn't this whole game supposed to be voice acted? Nope.
Right. But what they wanted to do was get you there in the door.
Yeah.
Not keep you. And if anybody here hasn't seen Dune, it's on HBO. And seriously, the HBO one is amazing. They really did a beautiful job really realizing that. And so I highly suggest. It is 3 hours. And there's only going to be one more part. It's not going to be until 2023. God damn it. But I highly suggest checking it out because it's one of the best hard sci-fi movies I've seen in quite some time.
Okay, cool.
So, all right. Moving on.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be great. We're already heading down the bad road, unfortunately.
I got a bunch of good ones.
Or at least I should say down the sad road.
I got a bunch.
Yeah. Red Dead Online. Apparently the community has been yelling literally since June or July, I forget which. I believe it was July of last year. Which was the last update that Red Dead Online has received. The CEO has officially come out in a press release and said, "We've heard you. We understand your pain. There's more content coming, maybe soon, TM." Yeah. That's his explanation. There may be content coming soon, TM. Thanks. Basically, he sat there and said that Rockstar it's up to Rockstar as far as them bringing in, introducing new content for Red Dead Online, and they're working on many projects, quote unquote. So there will be new content coming to Red Dead Online, maybe, possibly, hopefully, soon, TM. It's like you couldn't give a more vague description possible.
And frankly, they've also been saying this for like a year and a half now. Like they keep because I think a big part of it is Grand Theft Auto Online is making buku fucking dollars. Like and the way that Red Dead Redemption was set up online, it's so hard for Red Dead because it is by nature a Western. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, make a new city? No. Like, have
Yeah.
a traveling circus show up for a week? Like, as designer brain Alex, I'm like, how many events could I really come up with? Like,
Yeah.
keep it interesting, because at the end of the day, Grand Theft Auto has heists, right?
hmm
Which you could do in Red Dead, but there's no technology barriers to stop you. There's no, you know what I'm saying? It's always just gonna be a bank vault
Yep.
and a train, and like, the level of stuff you can just do isn't the same as being able to, like, all right, give them fucking a submarine. You need to buy the submarine before you can even start this mission, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Grand Theft Auto, you can, and they actually did. That was a couple of years ago, even. And you can give them like almost raid instances where it's like, here's a
Yep.
reason to go make a bunch of money. Here's what you're going to get, like, and then you get access to a whole new like set of missions. What are you gonna do? Like, tie two horses together, like upside down, so like
Yeah.
if you fall over, another horse can like just ride. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
you know.
Yeah, because I mean, their last update that they had was I believe it was called the Dead Money or Blood Money,
Blood
which
money,
was July of 21. So almost a year ago, and that added some new robberies, some clothing items, and a very short-lived battle pass apparently, and that's it. That's all it
yeah.
added.
Right. And those
So,
robberies at the end of the day are still going to come down to the same thing that it always is. Go
mhm.
to a place, shoot the lads.
Yep.
You know? Like I think that like the level of technology, you know what would be okay. This would be completely and totally like immersion breaking, so probably whoever is still playing Red Dead would hate this, but you could do like a fucking Star Trek thing where aliens or time travelers, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's how far outside of the box you'd have to think to get some really different, unique content. Or start from scratch and everybody has personal bounty levels, make people have the ability to be sheriffs and mayors and like be able to do day-to-day shit. Like, maybe I want to be an inn owner and I could buy an inn, but think about how much bigger you'd have to make the in-game world, that like people would actually have to travel time, like, which in and of itself would be kind of boring. Like, I don't know, that's so hard. That's a tough nut to crack, honestly.
Yeah. Wyvern just had tossed an idea of you could have some sort of like trip out event where they find like some moonshine and
Mhm.
go off into like some weird headspace kind of a
Sure.
trip.
Like, eat peyote kind of a thing. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So,
But again, that's kind of a one and done,
mhm.
right? Like, and if you really look at it, that's the same shit that I was just saying, right? That it's like you have to go so far outside the box
Yeah,
that, okay, now you're fucking tripping balls. And like, and I don't disagree. I would agree with that. Like, if that came up at a meeting and somebody else said it, like, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's do that. Like,
yeah,
it's different, you know. But within the confines of the game, so you're tripping out, and then what? You still just go to a place and shoot the lads.
yeah. It basically would be that. Yeah.
Right.
I
Like,
mean,
there's just the construct is so limiting because it is the 1800s.
maybe have dinosaurs
Um,
show up.
right? See, like, but you'd get probably even more, like 70% of the people who play that game because they like the realism of being in the old west. The other 30% maybe would like it,
Mhm.
but you'd piss off 70%, you know?
Yeah,
I think that they should have. The problem is that they did the model exactly like it was just going to work again,
yeah.
like from Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah.
They should have gone way harder the way that I'm saying, like realism.
Mhm.
Like, you could buy a bar and you could work the bar, and like the mods
Yeah.
for RP servers,
Mhm.
for that's what you should do. Do the RP thing and try to keep it really separate. Like, separate the two of them that way. If you want an RP experience, a role-playing experience, you play Red Dead Online. We're gonna give you tons of weird options. You could fucking go out and be a hunter and like literally just be a trapper and skins,
Yep.
and you want
I
to
would definitely.
panhandle for gold, you could do that too. You want to
Yep.
run for mayor, you could do that. Like, and then Grand Theft Auto, just let, Grand Theft Auto be Grand Theft
Grand
Auto.
Theft Auto.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like, don't fuck with any of it. Don't remove the ability for those kids to have those mods and those RP things. And I think that would be more interesting. But
GTA 5 had a peyote trip thing and aliens. Yeah, well, I mean,
right.
It's GTA though. I mean, it's kind of expected from GTA at this point.
It was also in Saints Row 4 too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Saints Row 4 was definitely a weird game to begin with from what I've read of the storyline of it.
It was great. I love that game. Like, I love that series. But
yeah.
I don't know. Again, poor bastards. Feel bad that that's your community.
I just find it weird that the CEO words it as, "Oh, we're honored that you guys still love the game so much," and it's just like, then why do you not do anything, kind of a thing? But like it's hard to kind of, and money and all, yeah.
Right. So speaking of money, let's talk some ridiculous shit. So,
do I need a tinfoil hat for this?
No, well, kind of, yes. But kind of not. So I'm going to explain a bunch of baseline stuff to get you guys all caught up on like what the hell's going on here. I inundate myself with this kind of shit like all the time. So the retro gaming market over the last 5 years of classic video games, including but not limited to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, fucking all the old school shit that you remember, has seen this insane price increase for these games. Like, I am old, so I have been watching it slowly but steadily, but over the last, let's call it 5 years, it has gotten exponentially worse. Part of the thing that has come along with that is grading. I'm just going to explain this. I know you probably know what this is. When an industry gets to a point where things become truly rare, they will have auction houses open up selling rare games, comic books, figs, whatever it may be. And they have them graded at the auction house, if it is a high enough established auction house. So basically, let's say, for example, I have a copy of Link to the Past, mint in box, never been opened, sealed, as Pat Contry would say, and I wanted to sell this. You would find an auction house that you like, you would send the sealed copy there, they would grade, they would look it over, they would grade it, and then they would send it back to you in now a plastic fucking sealed container, just like you've seen, back in the day from comic books and stuff, with its official grading. Each auction house, for video games in particular right now, because it's still so new, has their own scale. So some people use 1 to 100. Some people use like ABCD kind of a thing. Yep. Just depends on the auction house.
Yeah.
However, so now we are at this point, which is fucking crazy to me, by the way, because I'm an old man, that gaming is being graded. So again, let's go back to that. I have sent it to an auction house, my copy of Link to the Past sealed. I have sent it to an auction house. They have it graded. They send it back to me. When they grade it, by nature, they will say, we will sell this for you for 2% of whatever. Anything over usually $2,500, the auction house will take 2% of the sale. Which again, legit, right? Makes sense. However, now we get to the however. Earlier this week, a auction house called Wata Games, WATA Games, customers have filed a lawsuit against the auction house because there is some suspect activity. And Pat Contry of the CU podcast was actually one of the first people who kind of started really like looking into this, because he has been collecting games since, I think he said 2001. And
Okay.
like going to flea markets, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been watching his videos since 2008, 2009. So I've kind of seen it, you know, the curve of collection prices and certain individual games going up. And obviously rarity does play into it, you know, especially when we're talking about games like, you know, and physical objects. So, three men, Jacob Knight, Jack Cribbs, and Jason Doze, as well as a couple of other like Richie guys, have accused Wata Games and the Collector's Universe of pumping up the bubble around retro game collecting, misleading customers, and a pattern, this is a quote from the lawsuit, a pattern of racketeering activity. So, let me explain what this means. I'll try to break this down as simple as possible. What they are saying, what they are allegedly, what they are alleging is that all of these games come through this auction house. And they have a lot of games that they have rarities on. Hi, Bill. They have all these games. And what they are alleging is that people come to them with, let's use the exact same example to keep us all on the same page, a sealed copy of Legend of Zelda. And they say, hey, this game is worth $10,000. And then the guy goes, okay, I would like to sell this for $10,000. And they go, okay, here's $10,000. So the auction goes through. It sells for $10,000. The guy who had the original game gets the $10,000. He gives it back to the auction house. They give him $2,000. And now, if you repeat this pattern on several big name games, what you're doing is artificially inflating the economy. So now a basic sealed copy of Zelda has been proven to sell for $10,000. Next, you do it with a copy of Mario Black Box, and yet sells for $22,000. They're losing out a little bit of money here and there, but they're artificially creating this consciousness for the gaming public who want to buy these games, and they're the one dictating the market. So that's super fucking not the best. Because at the end of the day, they're making 2% on any sale that they didn't do that with, any legit copy that comes in of Zelda. They're making now 2% on that $10,000 of that price that they themselves artificially inflated. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So here's part of the research. And this is the part where I started like really going like bananas because I did dig into it a little bit. So in 2017, the top selling retro game was $30,000 for a sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers Black Box, and it went for $30,000, 2017. Flash forward, 2019, a WATA graded copy of the exact same game went for $100,000. 2 years. Same product, 2 years.
Jeez. That's
Pretty self-evident what's going on here.
yeah.
So, also that $100,000 sale one, WATA themselves, the auction house, they media blitzed that on all of their on their websites, on their Twitter, on their Facebook, on everything they had. They went, "Oh my god, a black box copy sealed of Mario went for $100,000. Could you be the next one to magically have like a copy of this?" You see how that also doesn't line up super great?
Oh yeah.
So, here's the other thing. That $100,000 copy, the buyers included 3 people, one of whom was the founder of another auction house, Jim Harplin.
Ooh.
So now Wada's being taken to court. Harplin is being implicated in this because it really does look like all these top tier fucking graders have been fucking the market. They've been skewing it so they make more money off of these fucking purchases.
Yeah, that is not good and not looking good in general, considering it's attached to the video game industry.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately, the video game industry can get flack from other things that have no relation to the video game industry at all. But at this point, it's just kind of like these auction houses that are grading things are just complete and total assholes.
Well, there's no, and I hate to say this because you know how I don't love like the whole big government thing, but there's no regulations here.
Yeah.
There's from even auction house to auction house, they have their own grading systems. Comic books have a universal a standard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like fucking near mint. That is, doesn't matter what auction house you go to, that's what you're going to get, is the same. They're still using the difference between reading an EGM and an IGN or a PSN magazine. Each one of those has their own rating scale to rate a game.
Yep.
That kind of one-to-ones here. Because, and back in the day, in the comic book industry, again, I'm just going to go back to a little bit to this. There was no internet at that point, right? So it was all based on goodwill, customer feedback, etc. Nowadays, with the way that communication and like multimedia and everything works, we got a new thing here where you could, if you had enough startup money, you could dictate the way that a field of money moves and how much each thing is worth.
Very easily.
So if Wada House had, let's call it, 30 copies of, I'm just going to pick another thing, Super Mario Sunshine, sealed, they could artificially inflate the fucking price, sell 2 or 3, changing them by hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point, because seriously, 30,000 to 100,000, that's $70,000 difference in 2 years. Then they just wait the 2 years and they're magically sitting on, oh shit, we happen to have 15 copies sealed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep, very much so.
And that's bad. That is just bad business practice. But gamers are also very susceptible. I mean, people, let's not lie. People are very susceptible to, well, a guy with a big hat said that that's what it's worth. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This guy has a position of authority, and he said it's worth this.
Yeah. Do you have a link to the article by chance?
Yes, I do. I can put it in your chat.
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. So the link is coming, Wyvern.
Give me a second.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be right away. I can get it to him. So okay.
Well, you can go ahead with the next one, because if you don't have anything further, I just literally am like, wow, dude, like this is like yet another example of like shit going like completely astray from what we call community efforts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, to now we've put this like dude with a lot of money in charge, and then he and his rich buddies take it in any fucking direction that they can get more money out of it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude. Fucking dirtbags. Anyways, you go ahead with the next one.
Just also, by the way, here, Alex, it is 10 to 10. Do we want to bust out the
fun one, the hilarious one,
the talking piece one?
Yes, I very much want to talk about that. Actually, can you look that article up so I can so I can start this?
As far as the article,
the Wada Games one.
Oh, the Wada Games one? Yeah, I can look that up.
Okay, cool. Because then I don't have to do it, and then I can start this. All right.
I'm assuming it's just Wada Games lawsuit would be the okay.
Yeah, Kotaku will probably be the first one that comes up. But I think there's one on Rock Paper Shotgun, and I know that there was one on. Why do I always want to say the New Yorker? Like I would never read the New Yorker. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay. So let me just draw a line through this. Also, if Wada Games gets found out that they were doing this, I hope they fucking rake them over the coals. But it's America,
Yeah.
and they're white. This is a white collar crime. I know they won't.
Oh,
They'll get away with
they
a
won't.
fucking slap on the wrist.
Yep.
Ugh. Anyways, did you find it?
Yep.
See, told you.
So
All right. So, oh my God, let's talk about this. Hold on. I'm actually going to chug this beer real quick because I really want to talk about this because I'm seriously so excited about this.
yeah.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Yep, no problem, Wyvern.
It's really interesting. And I'm glad you're interested in it, Wyvern. That's cool. Because a lot of my shit people aren't really interested in. Like all mine is like financial and international matters and shit. And like so many people are like, I'm like, I get it.
Well, I mean, Wyvern's also a card collector for Magic.
Oh, no
So,
shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
Very parallels.
Yep. No, yeah, no,
So,
that's cool.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad I was able to interest somebody.
Yeah.
Like one person a week that I can interest with my article choices, and I'm like nailing it. Like,
well, I mean, okay, yes, my reaction may be very, oh yeah, okay, yeah, but it's not like I am actually interested in this. So.
No, I know. I meant one of our like
our viewers.
Right,
Yeah,
like because you and I are always like interested in this weird, bizarre shit. But nobody, like, I had so many. Like, now, granted, fucking Twitch has been fucked up lately. Like, it like not showing who's in your chat and like whatever. Yeah. But literally, it just kept going 3-1, 3-2, 1-3, 3-1. Like, you know, it's it's not interesting, is it?
I barely pay attention to who's in my chat. Well, numbers in my chat. I'm just like, oh, hey, people are chatting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I do it too.
Yeah.
No, go lay down. Nope. Go lay down, Nicholas. No, I know you're so good. I love you so much. All right, but seriously, go lay down. All right, so let's get back to this. Activision Blizzard.
The company that keeps on giving us news.
Oh God, I love it. Like, I know that everyone is so fucking over it, but like, I love what has been going on because like I can just constantly dunk on them every fucking week. And every week they come up with a new reason for me to do it. And it's not even like we've been harping on the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just keep walking. It's like if you went to a child's play and they went up on stage and they shit their pants, started crying, ran off the stage, and then wandered back onto the stage the next week, peed themselves, and then cried, and then ran off the stage. It's just free fucking like content. I'm like, oh my God, great, fantastic. I can't wait to fucking talk about this. All right.
The best part of it all, though, is we can sit there and rag on Activision Blizzard like all week long if we wanted to, and everybody that would pop in our channel would have our backs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is like pointing at Nazis and going, these guys are dickheads, and everyone goes, yeah, yep, you're 100% right.
Very true.
So, last Friday, this is the next little
got an ad coming up in about 4.5 minutes.
Blizzard.
Guys, so if you're not a sub, you're gonna get
an
ad.
Out
just let you know.
A very remarkable set of, I don't know, tweets and like was blogging about they really were. They were like legitimately blogging about it.
Yep.
About a special development tool that they have been using to help add more diverse characters in games. Now, I brought a visual aid because I wanted to fucking literally be able to mock this fully. So let's do this. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit. Just a little bit like that, and then a little this, and then it goes right there. All right. Oh, that's so good, so clear. Let me just share my screen with you here, buddy. Oh, farts. Why are you doing that? I can't. Oh, right, because you can't. All right, fuck it. Copy. And then we're just gonna put this in general. Oh wait, can I do this? Interesting way to do this. Because for some reason, this is a side tangent. Microsoft Word doesn't show up properly when you share your screen, and I don't know why. Like, watch here. Oh, it did. Okay, whatever, cool. I don't know why it didn't show up sometimes. So, this is their new method that they were so fucking proud about. They have come up with an AI tool to make sure that they have diversity in their games. I honestly don't even feel like I have to explain how and why this is fucking hilarious. This is like the press F to pay respects moment where you're like, really? So,
Yep.
this is what it does. It goes in, and this is the first one of two that I have brought. This is the first one. It goes in, and it just looks at characters, and then it grades them on this. This is the first one, a 7-point scale. Culture, ethnicity, age, ability, body type, gender identity, and sexual orientation. This is an AI
Yep.
looking at pictures telling you that. So in their example here, body type of Zenyatta or Zarya, I'm sorry, Zarya is like big. I guess she's big. Culture, how do you get culture from a picture?
Well, the other thing on this is, of the 7 points that they have on there,
Mm-hmm.
realistically speaking, for a video game, what do you think? What number of those 7 points do you think you can actually formulate down to a slider, where at one end you have one value and at the other end you have another extreme?
Right. This is what a lot of people were saying, dude, that like you're trying to basically generate D&D characters with AI?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, let's because I kind of just want to at least quickly glaze over each one of these. Culture? How do you fucking quantify that? Do you notice that they're all in the exact same place except for
Torbjorn?
Torbjorn? What are
Yeah.
Does culture mean height? Does it mean that dwarves don't exist, so they don't have a culture? Is it about his beard? Like what does that fucking mean?
Yeah.
All right. Ethnicity. Okay. So white people end up at a 0. That makes sense to me, right? Like dude, literally look. Like,
Oh yeah.
okay, that's fucking bizarre. But, okay. So then gender identity, again, like what does that mean? Does it mean that it's gender fluid? Does it mean that you could instantly identify what gender it is? Like, what? Okay, sexual orientation, if you'll notice, all three of them are at 0. What the fuck? Why are you bragging about this? Are you a bunch of robots? Like, is this what you're fucking... Okay, so, all right, that's bad, right? But let's go a little bit further. Let's dig down this little rabbit hole a little bit. We're just gonna go down here. So this is their second one. This one was even more in depth. And this is the one where I really started I was like in hysterics. And the fact that like nobody at this fucking company had the foresight to be like, you don't see how this makes us look like robots? Like, dude, you know what else you could do to like maybe get some inclusion for your characters? Hire someone who you think is culturally not represented enough in gaming and then listen to them as to what they would like to see in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a white guy saying that. Like, dude,
Yep.
how fucking complicated is it? Like, okay, so now this one, we have more things to look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points of articulation for this sweet little chart. Once again, we have culture. Okay. Race. Okay, because that, my girlfriend fucking actually, she was like, they didn't even have race on that first one. I was like, I think that's what they were trying to say with ethnicity. And she was like, well, that could actually be taken both ways. And I was like, yeah, it's true. But here we have the breakdown. They do have race. Again, I don't know what does each dot mean. Like it's one race. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Age, is that like a line graph of how old people are? Okay. Cognitive ability. What? What does that even mean? It's a made-up character. It's a fictional thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Physical ability, more or less muscular. Okay, I kind of wait, but then there's body type. Wait, what? So is this Like muscle tone versus fatness? Like what the fuck is going on here? All right. Facial features slash beauty? What the fuck, dude? What? Like, and you guys were okay, moving on. Gender identity again. Well, they are certainly have junk of some description. May it be vaginas or in between. I don't know. It's in between on the graph. I got no idea. Sexual orientation again.
Yeah.
I don't even. Okay. And then socioeconomic background. So my question here. Okay, sorry. I want to talk about this for 9 hours. I really fucking do.
We could easily.
Like, okay, so what you're saying is what? You want, like, somebody who has autism who's also homeless because you don't have those spaces filled? So now you make, like, an autistic homeless guy because that part of the graph doesn't have, like, a fucking line thing in it? Like, this is so fucking bizarre. And the fact that they came out and were proud about it. Like, dude, we figured it out. We figured out all racism. Sexism, we did it. We have this fucking program now where we just put our fucking pictures of dudes in and it'll figure it all out. And then we go, hey, look, we don't have one of these. We don't have one of these. And by the way, I guarantee somebody said one of these. Not a person who is representing this. I guarantee they said one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God fucking bless, this is terrible.
The thing that really is just bad about this is the simple fact that out of everything that they've put on this, realistically speaking, I think the only thing that they can actually quantify in like a two-dimensional line where you have one extreme at one end and the other extreme at the other end is age. I think that legitimately is the only thing on both of their tools there.
Right.
That you
57 goes to 57. Right. Culture? Where does that go? Like, how do you fucking quantify culture? I am an Irish white boy who drinks a lot. So I'm assuming my culture would be really low.
Like, I don't fucking know. High because it's out, like
I don't know, because culture apparently is like, it's such a like nebulous concept. And the fact that, once again, okay, wait, let's see who that was. So that's the gray line. So that was Moria's purple. I'm trying to figure out what color that is.
Oh.
So the pins on the side represent who the characters in Overwatch 2. By the way,
Mercy? Maybe?
Was that Mercy?
I don't know.
I assume that white bitch probably wouldn't get that far. Fuck that white bitch. Maybe it's Lucio again. No, because this is green.
Yeah.
So whoever that is has more culture than Lucio. Dude, you know, it'd be really funny if it was Zenyatta, the robot, like that it was like grading the robot higher than everyone else. That would be funny.
Might be two lines actually.
Oh, overlapping. Yes,
yeah.
You're right. You're right. You know what it could be? Anna and
Zenyatta?
I don't know. Oh, maybe because because they're a bunch of robot people and they think, well, a robot and a woman who
befriends a robot?
Well, no, because you know she's Arabian, so maybe they were like, yeah.
Anna. I'm thinking the ice chick.
Oh no, May.
Yeah.
No. So okay, so apparently they have one line. So Arabia, the entirety of all of Arabia, I guess, has more culture than the black culture? What the fuck are you guys proud of here? This is the most confusing robot thing of all time. So let's look. Oh wait, we can actually even look. Like, look, they even gave us direct numbers. Like, oh my god, how did you think this wasn't gonna blow up in your face, Activision Blizzard? What the fuck were you thinking? This is so fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So my favorite part of this too, before we go back to completely and totally ripping on this entire fucking thing, I would like to back up for a second. So the other thing that I loved, so this comes out on Friday. Fucking Saturday, they hear the backlash and they go, "What? People don't think that we fixed all racism because we made this fucking AI program?" So then I love that they were confused too. God damn it, dude. They are just like a toddler coming out into a room with their nappies full of poopy going, I'm a big boy. And we go, yeah, you're a big boy, Activision Blizzard. You're doing so good. Fucking unbelievable. So the funny part was to me, the Overwatch team, the Overwatch 2 team, came out on their own personal Twitter, well, their own, like, that side of their Twitter, and was like, hey, just FYI, we didn't know shit about this, and we did not want to be the fucking poster children for their fucking weirdly racist bullshit, like, fucking, you fix the world with an AI program, and everyone kind of went, okay, well, that's a little even weirder. Like, they were using you as the template because you're the most diverse game that Activision Blizzard has, which is true. But like, it's fucking unbelievable. They come up with this technology and they spearhead it with a game, and they don't even tell the team who is making it. You know?
Yep.
Oh,
you know the real scary part about this though?
What's that?
This tool's been around since 2017.
Yes, I know. Which also, because I will. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because in a beta version of this tool, they fed in Mario, Peach, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette, and it's like, okay, so your sample size for your data set here is 5 characters that you didn't even make,
right?
It's like,
and by the way, other than Toad, that's a lot of white people.
Yeah, well, Toad and Toadette, but yeah.
Okay, well,
but still,
Toad species.
Yeah,
but still, it's like, this is just unbelievably fucking, like, they are so fucking tone deaf. It's like unbelievable. So you get in trouble because, you know, you're not hiring enough women, you're not hiring enough fucking ethnicities, you're not doing what any company should do, and people are saying, dude, we want to be more included. You know what I'm saying? Which is what been a fucking huge sentiment for years at this point.
Oh yeah.
And your answer is to come back with fucking Rob the Robot's output and go, he figured it out. Look at him.
That's their response to it. Hey, a robot told us we need to check these boxes, so our next character is gonna check these boxes.
Well, okay, and again, I was like, I don't want to harp, but I totally want to harp. So again, let's go back to
Blizzard. Go and harp.
Yep, fuck that. Fuck these guys. So, economic background. You can see how low that is. So all I could think was that they were going to make some Jiminy Cricket, like Cockney from the 1970s way of thinking of like, I'm going to be a chimney sweep. Like, and the next character they're going to make is going to be a fucking chimney sweep because they're not hitting like the low dollar value, like people like, and I am a low dollar value people, FYI. And so I showed this to my girlfriend, Ashley, and she doesn't even like fucking, she's not even like, you know, big into video games, but she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, exactly. Yep. Like, if you understand how fucking broken and stupid this is, what the fuck were people wearing suits? This had to go from the top down until they were like, that's right, put that shit out there. Let's show them that we're doing our due diligence. It's like, dude, just hire some people from some different fucking socioeconomic backgrounds, and then maybe we can get their opinions on who we want to fucking, like, you know, make their characters. Like, this is fucking unbelievable, man.
Meanwhile, I just want to point out, like, of all the characters that they've got selected for this tool currently here, all their socioeconomic backgrounds are very low. So does that mean like the next character they're gonna come out with is a like
Rich?
Well, I was gonna say like Chamber from Valorant.
Oh, right, Richie Rich.
Yeah,
right.
Like, is that the next character that's gonna come out?
I don't know. Is that what low means, or is that what high means? Again, these are arbitrary fucking numbers. Look at this. These are just arbitrary fucking numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 2,700. Cool.
Nice.
Morale, evil, 2,500. Fucking. Oh my God. Gender. I didn't even notice this. The groups. Gender, men, women, evil, good, neutral, damage, support, tank. So they are even subcategorizing it. So gender, culture, 2,900. Does that mean that the men are less cultured because the women are at 3,200? Race. So let's say I'm making a character. Do I just look at this byline and I don't have to worry about the rest of it? I just go, all right, so race for men is at 1.6, so we got to make another man, or does that mean we make another woman? I don't fucking know. How about cognitive ability? Who's also morale is neutral. They're at 1.4, so we got to make some more who are evil with more cognitive ability. Like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious with this?
Plus the simple fact of, like, okay, gender identity, in their grouping of men, it's 0. Does that mean that men have 0 idea of their gender? Or, like huh?
Or are they saying that only, like, dicks are automatically dudes?
Who knows? Do they know?
Physical ability 1.
I mean,
dude,
none of this makes sense.
Wait. Hold on. Sexual orientation also has a 0 for support and tank. So can we extrapolate what that means knowing that? So sexual orientation. So is there an openly gay character who is a tank or a support? I want to say no.
Tracer is damage.
Right. She's DPS.
But also looking at damage, sexual orientation is at 0.625, it looks like.
Right, but that would mean that somebody in damage, I'm assuming, would be hetero non-normative in their eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now again, like, let's also put this out there just for the chat. Just so we know, like, you know, that's Rich's husband. Just, you know, like, so, like, take this into a little bit into account, all right? So, like, I don't know, like, because that seems to me that 0 would say that there's nobody who is, quote unquote, openly gay as support or tank, is what I read that data as.
See, because I read that data as there's no one in that role that they have that they've determined anything, whether they be hetero, homo,
whatever, trans,
asexual, whatever.
Sure, right. But so what they've said here is they have one character in DPS who is outwardly gay.
Effectively, yes.
It's just like a guess, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we're just looking at numbers here. Okay. Oh my god. Like, yeah, this is so fucking terrible, dude. This is like what I assume. Like, who's the guy who owns Facebook?
Oh my, yeah, Zuckerberg.
This is how he views the world. Like, it's like the Matrix, but it's only broken down like this. And the fact that they came out so proud of this fucking shit, like, is unfucking believable to me. Like, oh my god, dude. It's so ridiculous. All right. So I'm done with that. Sorry about that. I had to do it though, because holy shit, that is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And the fact that they were like, we did it. we'd like a medal now, and the rest of the company was like, ugh, maybe you should have asked a couple more people, because that just makes you look like horrible robots who don't understand how humans feel. And then they went, what? People didn't love that we broke down their personalities into the worst, grossest way too, because again, they had 2 charts, and both of them we went, is this what? So when I meet a person, I have never once thought to myself, okay, so I'm thinking about making a potential friend here. Race is about a 7. Socioeconomic, it's about a 2. All right. Height, got to take that into account. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like humans don't do that. We go good person or bad person, ostensibly, right? Like, right. And if you want to include more gender diversity, more sexual diversity, more any diversity, hire people with those diversities that you are like, so you can listen to someone who ostensibly is in that demographic that you're trying to get, which is terrible sounding too, by the way. But at least it would be a human, and you didn't fucking spend 5 years on a program to do it. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yep. Yep.
Nice fucking job.
Especially when
idiot.
some of those I'm just gonna call them what they are. Some of those sliders were effectively like, okay, body type. Are we talking height, weight? Like, what are we
Some combination
talking?
therein.
Well, usually when you look at any game, when it comes to body type, is it one slider? Or is it like, okay,
Several.
here's your head, here's your forehead, here's your eyes, here's your nose, mouth, blah, 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 like breaking everything down.
Knowing them, they meant height and weight. Knowing them.
Well, okay, in that case.
Tall or fat.
Well, I was going to say, in that case, if it's height and weight, so you're taking two values and then quantifying it down to one, so someone like Roadhog would be at one extreme,
Right.
But then you have someone like Torborn who is short but stubby, so
Right.
he'd be in the middle still.
Right.
So it's like,
How do you judge the socioeconomic value of a person who doesn't exist? This is a fictional character.
That's
You know,
true,
like
too.
this is a fictional character, and from all I have seen, this fucking program just looks at art, and then it goes, just from looking at this art, I'm just gonna kind of guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So, what is it got? Like, a character's got to be like counting out hundreds, like fucking making it rain, and he's like, oh yeah, give that shit. That guy has got a lot of fucking socioeconomic value.
Yep.
Like, oh god, my upper lip is sweaty. We've been talking about this for 20 minutes, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, easily.
I'm just baffled. I am absolutely fucking floored at how this could just be like a. Because it's gonna go over
totally
great.
good. Yeah,
It's gonna go over great.
yeah.
It had to be 5 exceedingly rich white guys in a room,
Oh,
like,
easily.
with no diversity, who
Yeah.
were like, "This will make the diverse people happy." Like,
Yep. Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my god.
Admittedly, I am curious. Like, did they apply it to all the entire cast of Overwatch, or was it just like a small subset?
Well, that's the only thing they showed.
yeah,
And again, the Overwatch team did
Didn't
not know
know.
this was happening.
yeah, true. Because honestly, I'd be curious to see where some of these characters ended up, because you got characters like Diva. She's in a mech suit the entire time until she does, I believe it's her
Until she's not.
ulti, when she sacrifices the mech suit.
Right.
At that
Right.
point, she's then just running around with like pistols or something. So it's like, how do you?
Well, what about May? A girl who is, I think, 5'10" canonically, a little fucking heavy, but also a fucking genius in robotics. Like, how do you fucking quantify all these things? Like, they're treating people as if they are
A checklist.
a D&D character sheet.
Mhm.
You have 18 points to give out. You can put them in these 6 categories.
Where do you
Go.
put them? Yeah.
Right. Even though literally no human on the planet ever has been like that. People
Oh.
have nobody is that shallow. You know, like nobody is as shallow as a fucking puppy's piss puddle, which is what this is trying to prove.
Yes.
But
very.
people are fucking complicated. They're different. They come from wildly different mental backgrounds. They, like family backgrounds. Family backgrounds wasn't even on there. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that they fucking, by the way, that ethnicity one, I wonder if they just went religious. And that's like, because they didn't say religious anything. So they were
True.
like, that was probably their PC way to sidestep that issue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. So fucking stupid, dude. Unfucking believable.
Mhm.
All right, please choose
Very
something
dumb.
else. I've got to get out of here because I've got to take a slash. I've been laughing so hard, my bladder is going to fucking pop.
This is what I saved the story to cheer things up with for. This is why I saved this story, folks, because we definitely need some good news after that. Maybe not a funny news, but good news nonetheless. This is just advanced character creator, probably for future game. If this is supposed to be an advanced character creator for a future game, then they're looking at a character from like the Intellivision age as far as like depth of character that they're making. In case you didn't know what the characters looked like for Intellivision, And also, in case you didn't know what the Intellivision console was, go back in your history of video game consoles where I'm just gonna okay, you got the N64. Before that was the Super Nintendo. Before that was the Nintendo. Before that was the Intellivision. Yes, we're talking that old. You have 6 Ataris. Okay, so you change it. You know exactly what I'm talking about then, as far as like the graphics. You know the Intellivision. Good man, good man. Know your roots. But yeah, that's yeah. Moving on. The cheer 'em up story time. Yay! So I decided this is what the perfect time for the uplifting story would be. Following that.
I mean, to be fair, we took that in an uplifting direction. True.
I mean, it's uplifting, not hilarious, but still uplifting as far as the story I've got.
Okay.
A streamer, a Assassin's Creed streamer by the name of, I'm going to butcher this, so I'm sorry, Hayat Bahadori. Like I said, I'm going to butcher it. Sorry.
I'm gonna take your language skill slider and put that down a little bit, just FYI.
Oh, dang it!
Now you've screwed yourself.
Darn.
Not as marketable anymore, Rich.
Yeah. Oh well. But basically, since COVID started, everybody in video games, period, whether you're a streamer, whether you're not a streamer, whatever, everyone's been coming up with kind of new ways to play games. He has now officially done the entire 12-game franchise of Assassin's Creed hitless.
Him taking a hit?
Yeah. The main storyline. The only times he was able to take a hit were when the game intentionally scripted you to take a hit.
Wow.
The rest of the time, it was him dodging, stealthing, parries, whatever, to complete the game. And the funny thing is, this wasn't his first game, or franchise for that matter. It wasn't the first thing that he tried doing a hitless run with. The first one, actually, was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, he went on to the Assassin's Creed series or franchise, and just a little bit of stats on things. Pretty much all the games took about 100 hours for him to do this, with the exception of 2 notable ones.
So each game took him 100 hours?
Yes.
To do it?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I want to be clear.
Black Flag took about 250 hours, mainly due to the luck-based of some of the challenges in the game.
Yeah.
So that sucks whenever it's like luck based and it's like, hey, I'm almost done, and bad RNG. Fuck.
Yep.
But then the other one of note here is Valhalla. The main game took him roughly 800 hours for the main campaign.
Get fucked. No.
Yeah. No. It's like, well, okay, keep in mind, that's not one run being 800 hours.
I understand.
Because what he was doing is, as soon as he took a hit, regardless of where it was, run it all the way back to the beginning of the franchise. He was going that hardcore with it.
Hey, dude. Oh, to the back of the franchise?
Yeah.
So not just starting the game again to get another one. He literally was starting all the way back at Assassin's Creed.
Apparently.
Holy shit. What a fucking lunatic.
I mean, it's no different than Happy Hop, who did the entire Soulsborne hitless.
Yeah, except for that's 3.
5, but yeah, 5 or 6. 6 now.
5.
But yeah, 5 when he did it.
Yeah, it is. Okay, still. This is 11.
Oh yeah.
And Assassin's Creed isn't exactly like as fucking it's got RNG shit, and it's not really as solid of a game as like the Souls stuff. That was because I was playing Souls earlier. I was playing Elden, and I was like, oh, these fucking hitboxes. Still, that's fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
That is
Yeah.
insane. I appreciate dudes and I appreciate people who do this kind of shit.
Mhm.
Very cool, you know. Like that fucking dude who modded the Fisher Price controller to beat Elden Ring, like that just
Oh
happened
yeah.
like 3 weeks ago. You know,
Yep.
I appreciate the level of commitment that it takes to do something like that.
Mhm.
My ADD riddled ass
Oh
ain't
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, you speed run. You know what I'm saying? You do
True.
speed running.
True.
That's more than I'm even willing to do. I'm like, fuck that. I am out. I got shit to do. Like, and all I
Yeah.
got to do is like make games. Like, so I really have a kind of wiggle room on there. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, I had never liked anything except for maybe masturbation that I would fucking put that much time into. Like, yeah, I did that on purpose. Sorry, I saw you taking a slug of beer, and I was like, I could make a joke here. But like seriously, like that is an insane amount of
Oh
time
yeah.
to like do. And it's like, frankly, I ran out of steam for Assassin's Creed games. Like, ugh. Like
Oh
after
yeah.
Chronicles, Chronicles was
Oh, I
like
didn't
last
even
one. I
make
was
it
like,
that far. I,
well,
I, I maybe
I
made
like the
it to the
multiplayer.
second one, maybe I think.
Mhm.
So
Well, I like the multiplayer, but once they axed the multiplayer, I was like, nah, I'm done. And
mm.
then they made it more and more of an RPG, and I was like, can we just get back to the stabbing of dudes? Like, that's what this was initially about, a stealth game where I could stab dudes. But you know, whatever. I'm not exactly the mainstream consumer, so yeah, I mean, good for him. Like,
Yeah.
that's top.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Definitely.
fucking crazy, but that's top.
Taking permadeath to the extreme. Oh yes.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah.
certain.
I mean, and probably how many like hours of his own life did he fucking literally like if it was 100 hours for what 10 games,
Yeah.
so that's 1,000 hours plus 300 for the other one, so it's 1,300 plus 800, so it's 2,100 hours of his own life
Mhm.
that he wasted doing that. Like
Yep.
holy shit, skis. All right, so we got 30 minutes. We could totally do some more things.
Oh yeah.
So I have got something that I want to talk about esports. And I know that this will maybe bore the tits off some people, so I'll try to do it quick. But I love this fucking you're good. So do you remember 2 weeks ago we were talking about Tyler Spartan, that's his
Yep.
tag, Ganza.
Mhm.
He is a professional Halo Infinite player, and he got dinged by their pro league basically because he was on stream, not during a tournament, but on his own personal stream. He was talking shit about the most recent patch. They had a bug
Mhm.
that basically like locked your reload animation, and it was pretty rampant.
Yep.
Especially if you're a pro, right? Like how many
Oh
times
yeah.
you have to run into this, like, right? So, um, some things came of this. So, number one, he ended up getting fined $2,500 by their esports league,
Mhm.
which is kind of some Nazi bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like, what, you can't even like talk shit about a game that you clearly you love. You're a professional in it.
Especially when it's on my own personal stream.
Like right on the nose.
Yeah.
Like that's bullshit.
Mhm.
So, after that, the organization that he plays under,
Yep.
named E United,
Mhm.
fined him $750 for the same incident. So he got dinged for $3,250 of his own personal money for talking shit on a game that obviously he loves
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
whatever. Okay, so moving past that fun little stuff. Um, next, he basically decided that he was going to bench himself.
Mhm.
He was like, I'm benching myself.
Yep.
So he benched himself from E United, and E United is actually still currently holding the contract on him playing, professional esports
Right.
within the Halo Infinite League.
Yep.
Comes out, and on Twitter, he says that this is kind of some bullshit because E United will not let his contract go. So he benches himself to try to basically be like, look, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. He says it had nothing to do about the money, had nothing to do with the 2,500 or the 750, had nothing to do with that. He just thought this was some bullshit, and he thought he could find a brighter future with another org.
Mhm.
So this is where it gets a little fucking crazy. Allegedly, a member of the team's management suite told Ganza, Spartan, I will not let you go anywhere. You are not tradable. You are not for sale, and I will not give in and let you go anywhere. You will only play for E United this season.
Yep.
So his own org is actively fucking him by not letting him go. Comes out that you know what? I'm going to go with the next E United statement. The United statement says, Tyler has made it clear that he won't be forced to play. Nate Drexler, this guy's actually named Nate Drexler, an attorney and Gonza's representative, told Kotaku. So he went out and got his own fucking lawyer, and he was like, hey, dude, my client is not going to be forced to play. He's like, fuck that. I'm not going to be able to force to play. So we've seen this before from him. He doesn't want to be silenced, and he doesn't want to be forced into playing. We hope that we can find a resolution that gives him the opportunity to play in a more favorable situation with another organization. E United comes back. They say there has been no offers for him to pick up his contract, because just like any other sport, if you're in friction with the team that you're currently playing with, you basically can go like free agent.
Yep.
And another organization will buy out your contract from that team so that you can go and play for their team. E United is literally saying that is not true. So Ganza comes out again. He goes, dude, this is unconscionable and oppressive and an outright lie because I have talked to other organizations.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, E United in general right now is kind of looking like freaking Activision
Nazi
Blizzard
shit?
there.
Right?
Yeah.
That's some Nazi shit. Like, so what? Because you're like, didn't work out with him, you're just going to try to penalize him? Because usually when other sports organizations, doesn't matter if it's esports or not, when they buy out the contract, what they're doing ostensibly is paying all the rest of the money that that guy would have made with you. And then usually more money for you so that you can be a free agent, right? So the team gets the money that they were going to pay that guy paid out, and then they get bonus money on top of it. These dudes are being so fucking petty that they just don't want to let him go. He benched himself, and they're like, fuck him. Then we're going to penalize him by just keeping him locked into this fucking contract.
Yep.
Fucking
I mean,
savage, dude.
yeah, it's absolutely stupid is what it is, as far as what E United is doing. On top of that, because I started reading the article a little bit before we went live here, but didn't get through it, so I'm kind of aware of what's going on as well. If I remember correctly, prior to, I'm gonna mess up the timeline here as far as when things went down. They did mention that there were, I believe it was 3 different events that they were part of, 3 different Halo Championship majors that they participated in. The first one they got, I believe it was second. The next one was third. The next one was fourth.
Right.
And it was either during that third one or I believe after the team comp changed. Like,
right. Because they were changing
the management
other people.
actually pulled one of the guys, and now the team is just like we don't trust each other. Like,
no cohesion.
There's no cohesion at all. So why should I even be here? Kind of a thing is kind of his mindset.
Right.
And realistically, yeah, I mean, it seems at the moment where like it's very easy to get behind Gonza as far as supporting him at this point because he
He
doesn't
was
want to be
trying,
there.
and he was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Bench myself. Okay, I'm going to purposely step back. And again, we're talking about a 4v4 sport too,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
We're not talking about, a 10-person team where, okay, if one guy's kind of not vibing it, the rest of the team can kind of like congeal around that and still do good performance wise. If 1 out of 4, that is a fourth of the team that is feeling
Mhm.
not feeling it.
Yep.
And again, for esports players, they have a very limited shelf life for the most part. There
Oh, yeah.
are definitely older dudes, but in the esports world, an older player is like 24, 25.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have long to be in your prime to make these big paychecks and these big moves to try to get to a team where you can become these like champions, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So to hold this, and let's be realistic, the guy is I think 19, kid
Yep.
back because you're being fucking petty is awful.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yep.
Fuck you, Eden United. Like, thank God I never liked your fucking teams on any fucking esport, because I would definitely be like, well, fuck those guys. Fuck that organization. And there's a bunch of shitty organizations in multiple esports at
Mhm.
this point. TSM springs to mind. But like, man, like this is the kind of shit that like is holding us as esports back,
Yeah.
because it's making us look unprofessional.
Mhm.
You are making decisions based on your emotions and not your money at the end of the day, right? And not your reputation.
Yep.
Like you're making these decisions because you're being a petty fucking little bitch.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking terrible.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching it. But I will 100% fucking, give a follow up if there's something here. And hey, man, Gonza, hope you get out there, man, because
Yeah.
that is some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Mhm. I mean, this is kind of Word.exe levels of bullshit going on here.
Right? Legit.
So,
Legit.
and for those of you who don't know what Word.exe is, um, go to YouTube and just search Word.exe. It more than likely should be the first 30 results.
Probably the first one, honestly.
Well, no, I'm saying first 30 because everybody's covered it at this point.
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
everybody's got videos on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
uh,
How much do you have left? We have 15 minutes.
I've got 2.
Okay.
One I guarantee. Well, technically I've got 3, but I don't know if we're gonna get to one of them. So
I mean, if we cut out a bummer drummer, I'm okay with it.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna go with this one first because it ties into something we've talked about a couple of weeks back. PlayStation, their online plus whatever essentials master whatever tier
PSN.
lineup, they've actually announced what's going to be available like whenever they actually get their asses in gear.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna read off the entire list of the PS4 or 5, 3, 2, 1, whatever games. I can post links or a link for people in chats if people want. But they have actually now announced the games that are coming out, be it first party, third party, that are going to be available on tiers. For what's here, it's kind of like, yay. Like, I can't even do a full shrug for it. It's that unimpressive, kind of.
Yeah, I was okay. And I don't want to instantly go here, but like, because I did want to, at least give you a little bit more time to boil. But um,
I
I
mean,
looked
there's
at it
not much to
too.
boil on this one, unfortunately.
Right. Like, I don't know. And it's not that Xbox Game Pass started off as an absolute banger either. but it was certainly fucking better than this.
Yeah.
Like that's the end all be all of it. The long and short of it is, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, some of the big big quote unquote ones that I will say that are good are like Bloodborne, Demon Souls, which is the PS5 remake, not the PS3 version. So unless you have a PS5, it's not going to do you much good.
Also, the Bloodborne one isn't coming to PC.
No.
Which again, like, are you like allergic, like pathologically allergic of money? Like, just put it on fucking Steam. Let us fucking buy that shit and move on. Like, you know. And you think this is gonna be? All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the amount of people that would instantly buy Bloodborne if it came to PC.
$40. $40. I'd buy it day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
Absolutely no problem with that.
Yep. Oh yeah. But they've
and you see a resurgence on Twitch because of that. Like, fucking Sony.
Oh yeah. So I mean, some of what they're bringing to the table as far as this is cool, but again, it's like, okay, Sony, this is kind of a little too late. That and the lineup that you're giving us is very meh. So,
and the fact that they literally last week we were covering this and they said legitimately out loud they did not think that putting AAA titles on this day one was ever going to be worth it, so they're not doing that.
Yep.
Cool. So, like, at least with Game Pass when it came out, they were like, hey, this is just like the building blocks and we're just trying to like figure everything out. And pretty much instantaneously, within, like, I'll give them a grace period, 6 months, there was starting to be really good shit on there. You know?
Yeah.
And this is not a good starting place. Like, this is terrible. And the fact that you already told us that you're not going to put AAA shit on there, it's like, God damn, Sony.
And like, okay, using Game Pass as the parallel, because that's really the only one that
you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to do.
I mean, yes, when Game Pass launched, it only had like 50 titles, I think. But you look at it now, and it's over, depending on if you got the PC or PC and Xbox, it's like over 200 to like 200 to 300 games. So it's like,
and some without any crossover.
Right.
So if you have an Xbox, here's a bunch of like Xbox ones that are exclusive. Here's a bunch of like PC exclusive ones. Sony is just like, here's a wet fart in an elevator.
Yeah.
And then they look at you like you're the weirdo. No, that's not even a good analogy. That's like them farting and then looking at you like you're the weirdo because you don't like smelling it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, what? Like, god damn, Sony. You guys suck.
Putting Bloodborne on PC makes sense. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that game was what, 2016?
Oh yeah.
2015?
I don't remember. Yeah.
I know it's at least that long. Like, god damn, just put it on fucking. You've already done Horizon. You've already done God of War. Just fucking. If you think that this is the last bastion that you have, and frankly, I was talking to Aaron about this the other day while we were coming back. He was saying PlayStation, the only thing they have going for them at this point is the exclusivity thing. And somewhere in that building, those buildings, they have to know that. And that's what they're still holding on to, as opposed to adopting a new strategy and kind of pivoting. Because I have not for 3 generations now bought a PlayStation because I want to play 4 fucking titles. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what you're doing, ostensibly to me personally, Alex Quino the guy, is not putting your games on PC. That means you're just not getting my money. I'm not going to buy your hardware for $600 fucking dollars to play 4 fucking games. So if you put them on PC, the way that Microsoft is doing, I would give you the money.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so are you allergic to free money? Like,
apparently.
Yeah. Fucking bad. Speaking of which, so you this is gonna be funny. Do you remember way back in the day when Fall Guys was a thing?
Oh, I saw that article too.
Yep. So Epic Games is making Fall Guys free to play as of next month.
Yep.
Cool. I don't really
Yay.
see Fall Guys getting a resurgence.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
cool,
considering I
guess.
want to say it was the first 2 seasons that they had was just rampant cheating all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like, yay, you finally did something with the cheating. Now that it's like 9 months
No
later,
one cares.
No one cares.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Like the only reason that game took off was because right time, right place.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
Pandemic was going on, streamers picked it up. It was basically a party game that was 100 players, so like right time, right place.
Mhm.
Going free to play now, dude, you should have been free to play then. And by the way, that game was selling for $29.99. That's the reason I never played it.
Yeah.
If it had been free to play, I bet it would have even been bigger.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So I don't know. That's a who gives a shit at this point. Like, good job, I guess. Cool. Like, I will not be picking that up just to like fucking like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
taking it off Steam kind of sucks though. Yeah,
sure.
But I mean,
sure. I agree.
Yeah. At the same point in time, it's like,
At least they're
okay,
getting a check.
with yeah, exactly. With them taking it free to play, they're not going to get the money from sales, quote unquote, of the game. They're going to somehow do microtransactions, obviously, to pay for it.
They already were.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true too.
They already were.
So instead of it being even less money to do microtransactions through Steam that they're then getting, because they're effectively giving Steam a portion of it, they're now just like,
100%.
oh, hey, we're gonna just cut Steam out of the picture and we can take all the money.
Yeah, with your 9 fucking dude player base.
Yeah.
This is fucking ridiculous. I love that every time Bill gets up, he goes, "Go!" Polar bear's got to make that noise. All right, so, what do you say? Tell Alex what?
It's almost 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have clocks right here.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Tell Grandpa I also can read a digital clock.
Oh.
It's not like he knows what Twitch is. All right, that's my last old man burn. All right, so last one that I want to talk about. We'll do it really quick. Does anyone other than me remember Team Fortress 2? Am I the only person who's old enough to remember Team Fortress 2?
I remember it.
Okay, good.
The question is, who remembers Team Fortress?
Me and you, probably.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, like we always say this, that like we're like the oldest men, but like quite a few of our chat viewers and shit, they're around our age. I will be taking no further questions at this time. Moving on. Thank God we have such a young and sexy audience. All right, moving on. Team Fortress 2, a game from 2007, has been having a ridiculous bot problem. We'll gloss over this really quickly. We all know what this is, but bots are when a matchmaking game can't fill in enough players, so you fill it up with AI. Done. Cool. The problem is the community is none too pleased. Now it's cool. If we start here, let's start on the upside, right? It's cool that Team Fortress 2 still has like an active player base, right? Oh God, I want to know what that was.
Just someone in my chat with just Wyvern. Thanks for reminding me. I need to go take my pills this evening.
Trying to help, it's like, trying to help. They still do have a pretty active community. I went and I looked at the Steam charts. It's not ridiculous, but they still do have like 1,000 players on average.
Okay.
There's people who still care.
Yeah.
But they have literally they have sent hundreds of emails of identically worded emails to Kotaku and every other game site to get this in the zeitgeist. to get this in front of people.
Hmm.
So the issue is that the bots are AI controlled, duh, are fucking dominating in games. So when they made these bots originally, whenever the hell they did, they were figuring, one or two or maybe three of them would be bots, right? And that the
Right.
humans would just kind of by nature run them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much anymore. So,
Yeah.
if you get into a matchmaking and you happen to get a bad lobby, no one happened to be searching at that time, you could be full of a shit ton of these bots, and they apparently can snipe humans with 100% accuracy.
Oh yeah.
Woof. Okay, that's bad. Playing with reflexes, spinning faster than a human could, like 180 degrees, and this is a large segment of the TF2 community is ruining the game for who is left. So they decided to make this campaign where they're just like writing all these news outlets, and let's use news outlets as loosely as we can. We're talking about Kotaku and shit.
Yeah.
No offense, Kotaku, but go fuck yourself. But to be fair, let's put a little fucking sugar on this story.
Mm-hmm.
Team Fortress 2 is 15 years old. Most games that are 15 years old are abandonware at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Like to the point where whatever teeny tiny community is left, like you can play on private servers kind of a thing. And they still have that, like, with TF2. And it went free to play in 2011. So by 2011, Valve already knew this game was basically
on the way
DOA.
out the door. Yeah.
Right. And it's still got some like cosmetic items, hats, to pay for. But like, I don't know. I see what the community is saying, but like, I am of two minds here. One mind says, how long would it actually take a designer to sit down with an Excel doc? I am a designer. I will tell you that is what our work is.
Mm-hmm.
An Excel doc, change some values to make the bots a little softer, a little easier.
Right.
And then an engineer to implement the changes, and then a couple of, I bet this is where the problem is, a couple of QA guys. I bet that's where the problem is, because they don't want to fucking pay these QA guys.
Yeah.
Because they're like, why would we take them off of something that's profitable and put them for 3 days onto this to make sure that the changes are correct? But like, that's kind of lame, man. You can see that like this community still gives a total shit about it, like to the point where they're fucking doing an organized, like, march ostensibly digitally to get their game fixed. And Valve, you couldn't like find. We're not asking for the Arkenstone here.
Yeah.
We're asking for a handful of gold from the corner of the fucking like treasure trove of money that you are making every day for no games. You've made Half-Life Alyx, and that was pretty much it since fucking what?
Half-Life 2?
Yeah, no. Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep.
But like you're sitting on a fucking shit ton of gold, and you're like not gonna like just let 3, 4, 5 guys go and fix this where a community of 1,000 players is still playing. You're still paying for the servers, so you care enough about that. Like, it's 3 days worth of work, bruv. Like, just go let them fucking do it. I don't know.
Yeah, and it seems really shitty of them, to be honest.
It seems so Valve, right? Like,
yeah, that's it.
That seems like a lot of work. It's like, it's actually very little work. It's still work. It's like, okay, so basically you just like to sit on your like, they're Smaug. They're just sitting on this fucking mountain of fucking gold, and they don't want to do shit. And they don't have to, because unlike Smaug, the fucking sides of the building are still pumping in money. So he's just constantly just readjusting to get back on top of the pile. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
So I kind of see where they're coming from, except for the point that, like, you have that much money and you can't seriously just go, all right, here, tiny hobbit people, go make this 1,000 people happen.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yep.
What whatever.
It's annoying sometimes.
I mean, it's just annoying when like you see something where you're like, wow, dude, this is so little work to make. And I know it's 1,000 people. I do understand that. But maybe it's because, Alex Quino, independent studio owner, I would do that.
Mhm.
Like if I was sitting on a fucking like golden throne, yeah, I'd go out of my way to fucking make 1,000 people happy. Now, granted, maybe that says a lot about me, like personally, like I'm a bit of a people pleaser, but like, come on, man, like, what do you care? Like, And frankly, once again, not to fucking harp, but to totally harp. What are you making? You're not
Yeah.
making anything. Like,
Yeah.
you're not making any games. You're just sitting on fucking hundreds and hundreds of $100 million doing nothing. So what do you care? Like,
Yep.
whatever. It's fine.
Plus, considering the simple fact of, okay, right now it's got about 1,000 people. You let this linger, it's going to go down.
And then
And
you're just
sooner
gonna
or
be
later, you're going to be Babylon's Fall.
right.
For those who haven't heard of it, don't worry, you're not missing much. It's got like a player base of 1. I'm not kidding. May 4th, 1 person.
Right. And like the other attitude you could take would be, you know what? Fuck it. 1,000 people still care. Let's throw the designer to go and rebalance the bots. Let's throw 1 engineer to get stuff in to the DB. Let's throw 3 individual QA testers to go test it out, check, make sure the changes are good. It's not fucking anything up. If you really wanted to go ham, if you really wanted to show that you were still the same company that people think that you were all those years ago, which by the way, Valve is not anymore that company.
Yeah.
You could make like one patch, do some rebalance, do something enough to go, hey, we have a brand new update. And by the way, they did this for Left 4 Dead 2 October 2 years ago. They were like, here's the first patch that we have done in like legitimately 10 years, and it was free. And it made all the Left 4 Dead players go, holy shit. It made Left 4 Dead go from, I want to say 2,400 players a month to 10,000 for 3 months.
Yeah.
You could do that,
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have infinite resources. Like, what the fuck, man? But whatever. Who the fuck am I? I'm just some guy who's just like a design monkey.
Yeah.
So,
And
whatever.
like you mentioned, how it was proven with Left 4 Dead 2. Okay, you fix the problems, people will come back.
Right. And then go, oh, Lord Gaben has blessed us. And we have a new thing. And
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
even for that amount of time, like that's just a nice PR move. Like, like why the hell not? Like,
plus on top of it, it's like, okay, back when TF2 was a big thing, there really wasn't Twitch around then. Not as popular as it was today.
No,
If
that
you
was
make
like
this
Justin
patch, people on Twitch will pick it up and be like, oh my gosh, let's have some fun. Let's play some
maybe it'll
games.
snowball.
Viewers will then be like, oh, they fixed stuff. Let's go back.
It's free to play. It has been for 11 years. Like, maybe we should check this out. Like, you could revitalize something that you've been paying for and doing nothing with a very small amount of effort.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whatever.
But apparently they just want to hoard the money and not spend any of it.
I'm just tired of fucking like having very basic answers for major companies and them like
completely ignoring it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it frustrates me when I see something that you could basically do nothing for the entry price to gain 100% loyalty. I don't see why not. I never see why not. Like, I just don't.
Yeah. Yep. I'm right there with you, man.
Oh my. All right. So go say goodbye.
I was gonna say I've got a literal like 30-second
do it
uplift thing, which is great because we can end on
go for it. Yeah.
Titanfall 2. $5 on Steam. Nice. Right now. $5.
I will tell you, anyone here who has not played the Titanfall 2 campaign, for $5, it's about a 4.5 hour campaign. 100% worth. That campaign was so fun. It was well written. It was basically, if you took a COD campaign and you smushed it down to all the fun, memorable shit, and then actually added a good story,
Nice.
like it really, I mean, it's true. That was
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
really fun game. I really, really enjoyed my time with it.
Mm.
And talking about another community that even in 2021, I think they got about 1,000 people still kicking around. Now, most of the dudes there are fucking godlike. But the campaign's fun, and the multiplayer, you could always check it out. For $5, I don't see why not.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Honestly, one thing I was just checking was I have the actual CD, like DVD, of Titanfall 1.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, me too. I
Well,
abandoned it pretty quick.
for when it came out, there were other better games, I will say. But it was like, when it came out, okay, had some fun, because there wasn't really a big mech game at the time other than
No.
Mech Warrior. There was nothing.
Right.
So
And
this was its big competitor, and honestly, with Titanfall 2, it's like, I'm definitely gonna go pick it up.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer is very different from Mech Warrior because you can be on the ground as yourself, or
Mhm.
you can be in a big mech. Like it's good
Yep.
shit. So yeah. All right. Well, another episode down. What episode number was this, by the way?
This is 43.
Holy shit.
Yep.
We're almost coming up on a year already.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
9 more
man.
episodes and then a year. Insane.
Wow. Crazy. Fucking time, man.
Titanfall 2 is pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Titanfall 2 is very solid. And I really appreciated it.
Yep. The one thing I got to admit, I do remember from Titanfall 1 that I love doing in the multiplayer. I don't
Scampering up another mech.
I don't remember if you remember it from Mech Assault, that Xbox game where you could jump on the other mech and hack it. Yeah, I love that. That was awesome.
It's cool as shit to be, and especially because the way they made the movement in Titanfall 2, because Titanfall 2, they took the movement from 1 and made it feel weightier. So the more cool things you did, the faster you went too. Okay. So it was so dope to be like jump, 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 and then like a mech turns to like see you, and you're already on top, like pulling its energy core out, like. It just feels good. Or hiding in a building and then like unload a rocket into its stupid face. It turns around and you're like, and poof, and then you jump on top of it and you rip its like fucking armor piece off. Dude, dope, man. Like that shit was very fun. It's very Batman-y in a first-person shooter game. That's very cool. Yeah, I got it. And you know what? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, we ended up getting Apex Legends out of it too.
True, very true.
And Apex is really fun. I am bad at it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Free to play, you know. Look at that dog. He's got to go AUT. That's why he's haunting my fucking dreams. Look at this.
I love how he just like sat down and smiled at you like, hi, I know you're talking about me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's go say goodbye, and then I can say goodbye to you. And yeah, does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Bye, Alex's chat.
Bye, Rich's chat.
Alrighty, though, guys. That wraps it up for tonight. That is, believe it or not, episode 43. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for almost a year. Well, technically, we've been doing this for about a year, but we've had a couple of misses here and there scattered throughout due to some technical difficulties. But hey, we're having a great time. Can you get a link to Alex's channel? Of course, he's not in my channel at the moment, so I'm just gonna grab the multi-Twitch link that I have up because it allows me to jump back and forth really easily. There we go. I don't know why I just didn't do the talk show command, because that would have done the same thing. Silly me. Who knows? We all do weird things. That's all I can say. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me tonight, guys. I hope you had some fun. Love that everyone came out and was chatting, hanging out, voicing their own opinions and stuff like that. We do this every Tuesday night. We talk for 2 hours, have some beers, voice our opinions, analyze random, weird, creepy checkbox in supporting tools that Activision Blizzard makes. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we talk about everything here. Very little is kind of banned as far as topics in video games. So, or at least in the video game industry. But yeah, we tend to try to have a good time and have some fun with it. That all being said, tomorrow I will be back. Again, still doing the fundraising for St. Jude, doing that all month long. Our first milestone is at $200, at which point these fun little guys, or at least level 1, which is starting off with Carolina Reaper seasoning and distill peppers. Yeah, that'll be fun to do on stream. Almost as fun as the one chip challenge that I did back in November. So if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to check that as well. But I need to get going. So yeah, that'll be it for tonight. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And till then, I hope you have a good evening and a good rest of your day. Till then, bye.